Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, there are genuinely levels to this, man. When we're talking about Caitlin Clark, when we're talking about viewership, when we're talking about just impact in general, this girl wipes it all across the board. You want to talk about production on the court, you want to talk about anything off the court, like in every category, it's like Caitlin Clark is there. You want to talk about who got the most views in the game? Yeah, Caitlyn is there too. You want to talk about who has the most views off the court? Caitlyn goes golfing. Oh yeah, the crowd shows up. Caitlyn go watch another team play. Yeah, crowd shows up. Caitlyn watches paint dry. A crowd shows up. So let's just get started, shall we? 5 games, 4 different opponents, 3 big arenas, 2 million eyes, 1 common denominator. Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. Hey man, shout out to C22. What poetic words for Park, man. So listen, the most viewed WNBA games of all time. As you can see last year, oh my gosh, we had so much fun in this game last year. May 17th, 2025, when Caitlin Clark put on a monster performance against the Chicago Sky. This was the most anticipated game in WNBA history. I remember this. I'm pretty sure all of us remember this. Coming into the season off the Christy Size firing, Stephanie White comes in. We're thinking we're getting a coach that's going to play to Caitlin Clark. We're thinking Caitlin Clark will finally be unleashed. And boy, were we in for a rude awakening. But that doesn't change the fact that on May 17, 2025, Caitlin Clark did dominate the Chicago Sky before Angel Reese started playing victim again. Caitlin dropped a triple-double, just beating the Sky by nearly, I think, 50 points. An insane game. I just remember we all went to bed feeling real good. That was a euphoric feeling just scrolling through the timeline, etc., etc. So it's no surprise. And this was the first game back from Caitlin Clark's rookie year when she broke like 66 records or something wild like that. Despite everyone saying reality is coming, that her game won't translate to the pros, all of these things, Caitlin Clark was being told. But let's talk about the second game. The Fever versus the Aces. This was this year, July 12th. The Fever versus Aces. It peaked at 2.6 million. 2.8 million, and the average views was 2.6 million. That is actually insane to think about, chat. The average views was 2.6 million. I mean, NBA games, they don't even average nowhere near that. Like, I think the average is 1.8 million. So the fact that Caitlin Clark is just, casually not only passing 2 million, but well over 2 million, even sometimes flirting with 3 million. In fact, she actually cracked 3 million multiple times this year. Last game, the Lynx game, you can see. The Liberty game, you can see. The other Liberty game this year, you can see. The Chicago Sky game, obviously. So listen, man, the common denominator is wherever Caitlin Clark plays, viewership follows. You notice there's no 2025 without Caitlin Clark in here, right? Because they like to make you think the Fever, or people still watch the Fever as much when Caitlin isn't playing. They like to make it seem like the Fever are as good without, it's just, I don't understand. It's a pointless exercise. But nonetheless, Caitlin Clark dominates per usual. Shout out to Park once again with an amazing stat. Says Caitlin Clark has done something never seen before in WNBA history. In any 5-game stretch of a single season, there have been 50 instances of a player averaging 29 points per game, and 226 of a player averaging 9 points per game. Now, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this a while ago, but I said there will be someone who maybe comes in and scores the ball more than her. There will be someone that comes in and maybe assists more than her. But there will be nobody on planet Earth that will come in and do both more than Caitlin Clark. So just to remind everybody, on February 14th, 2025, I spread some love to the timeline, as you can see, and said, oh, and one more thing. Breaking Caitlin's college scoring records is cool and all, right? But she was also playmaking. There will be some that passes her scoring, some that passes her assists, but none doing both like she did. I said also shout out to Juju, a real bucket, But listen, the point remains that Caitlin Clark is one of one. So to Park's point, there have been 50 instances of players averaging 29 points per game. This feat alone is insane, right? In this 5-game stretch of Caitlin Clark doing this. And 226 of a player averaging 9 assists per game. But Caitlin is the first ever the first player ever to average both at the same time. She sacrifices points to get assists, and that gets so unappreciated by the voters, etc. I kind of did even hint to something. I want to bring up one of my posts one more time. As you can see right here, I posted not too long ago, I refuse to believe this is the best WNBA voters we can find. I said we need hungry, non-biased voters in the media who will actually put in the hours watching film, analytics, and more before making decisions based off social media hype. Players' contracts and legacies are directly tied to these voting awards. So how come we haven't cleaned this up by now? Points production should 100% be of more value than points per game. A 20 points, 5 rebound, 10 assist player should unequivocally be an MVP over a 25 points per game scorer. But the voters would never know that because they're not diving deep in to get the real value of said player. So with growth comes change, and change creates uncomfortable situations, but it's vital for the league's trajectory. Women's basketball is global now, and they need to act as such, you know. But as you can see from Polymarket, they said Caitlin Clark is the only player in the WNBA this season with back-to-back Player of the Week honors, man. CC, man, she keeps doing it. Back-to-back Player of the Week honors. I mean, that's obviously grounds for getting Player of the Month, right? She's the only player this season with a back-to-back Player of the Week honors, right? In July, like, come on, let's use our heads now. You know what I'm saying? Let's not rob this girl. We've been robbing her enough. Caitlin Clark is once again your Eastern Conference Player of the Week. I just talked about this on the main channel, but for those who are on this channel that probably didn't see that, Caitlin Clark is the Eastern Conference Player of the year. And Jason, I don't want to screw his last name up, but from Ted Lasso, right? Wearing the Nike Caitlin ones at the Ted Lasso premiere in Brooklyn. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, first of all, these are fire. But I was like, how did he get the CC ones? like, yo, he's well connected and well respected. CC gotta be hooking him up nicely because this is crazy. You see him with Flavor Flav. These, I don't know, these CC ones are just so perfect, you know. The purple ones might be my favorite. I don't know. Could be a little biased because I'm saying it's the purple Venoms. But nonetheless. But anyway, this is a good point to bring up as well. Caitlin Clark and LeBron James' annual shoe sales were about the same. As you can see, Caitlin Clark, approximately $150 million. Same thing as LeBron James, approximately $150 million. Obviously, nobody comes close to MJ the GOAT. But at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark, who didn't even release her shoes yet, the fact that she's pulling in $150 million with an athlete as big as LeBron James, who has his own signature shoe, I just can't imagine what Caitlin Clark's projections will look like when she drops her signature shoe. Oh my goodness. The resellers are going to be selling. You're going to have to literally sell your whole body to get a pair of CC1s. Like literally, you're going to have to sell your arm, your legs. You're going to have to mail pinky. Like, oh my God, they're going to be taking fingers for your Klarna. But anyways, I brought this up in my main channel anyway, but this was another something I can't ignore. You know, they posted A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark's WNBA Player of the Week for the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, and as you can see, just, you know, tied with the viewership as we talked about earlier, Caitlin Clark is beating A'ja Wilson. Like, we know who the face is. We know who the face is, man. It's not even close. Shout out to CC though, man. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, nearly a steal despite being handcuffed, despite nothing really going your way. Still dominating the league, still doing her thing. You can see, man. I just want to see what post-trade deadline CC is going to look like. If we get the next game tomorrow where the Fever, Stephanie White are going away from Caitlin Clark, I'm going to know, oh yeah, y'all was trying to avoid that trade deadline scare. I'm already knowing. But anyways, A'ja Wilson averaging 26, 9, and 3, and it's definitely impressive as well, right? But the fact remains that Caitlin Clark is generating way more points. 8 assists equates to, at minimum, 16 points, right? So you automatically got to throw 16 on top of the points she's scoring herself. Automatically. So that means you got at least 37 to 38 points, right? Depending if you want to round up. 37 to 38 points generated nightly by Caitlin Clark, with 4 rebounds, might I add. But when you factor in A'ja Wilson, you getting a smooth 26 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. So let's say these 3 assists equate to what? 6 points, right? At minimum. You add the 6 to the 26 points, that's 32 points. It's not 38 like Caitlin Clark. It's not 37 like Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Mitchell, who I think is a top 3 MVP candidate as well. Someone who's genuinely taken away from Caitlin Clark's MVP run. When other players, especially in the NBA, they go into their number one. If they know their teammate is ahead in the MVP race, they go ahead and push the race for them. But Kelsey Mitchell looks like Selfie Mitchell. She won't. I mean, we're not surprised, man. This is the snake we're talking about. Kelsey averaging 24 points, 2 assists. So on a nightly basis, she's pretty much averaging 26 points per night altogether generated, right? So Caitlin is averaging 38 to Kelsey Mitchell's 26 to A'ja Wilson's 32, but we're still trying to sit up here and make an MVP case that Caitlin is not number one, and there's not a significant gap between number one and number two. It's crazy. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this reaction, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the sub button, hype this video. Shout out to CC, man. She's genuinely the GOAT, smashing viewership records, smashing attendance records. She's literally, she gave the Lynx their most attended game. She gave the Portland Fire their most attended game. She's just genuinely giving teams. Everybody's eating off her plate, but nobody wants to support her. It's hilarious to me. But I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out, baby.